into birding and animal watching, a device like this should be in your Christmas stocking or your Christmas in July stocking. Yes, coming up on July 25th, Christmas in July. You need to buy one for yourself and have the investment. I like this spotting scope a lot. It has a coarse focus knob that gets you close, and then a fine focus where you turn this, and I've never tested it, but this knob turns, at speed. This one is like 10 or 15 times faster, allowing you to really focus really easily. It also has a cool little feature. Loosen that screw on the side, and you can rotate it to get it into a comfortable position for your eye to look through, so you don't have to be standing up looking down into it. You can be sitting down and fix it so that it's at a good position for you to use. Now, there's a 1/4 to 20 screw right here on the bottom. This screw will go on to this hole will accept any 1/4 to 20 screw on a standard binocular in tripod in North America, right? So you can put it on a tripod and off you go. Put it on a monopod. In the Amazon Live carousel, we'll have actually a mount that you can use in your car. So you roll your window down part way, has a little sort of U-channel that goes down over the glass, and then it turns it into a tripod head mount so you can move it left, right, up, and down. Very slick little device that makes it really nice. Now let's talk about one thing you need for birding. You can go out and look at birds, and that's fun, just to look at how pretty they are and watch them and chase them around, try and find them. But you want to start learning about the birds, and a great way to do that is getting a bird book. And over in the Amazon carousel that we'll have up during the Amazon Live broadcast here at 2 o'clock Central Time, we're going to have the National Geographic Field Guide to North American Birds up there in the carousel. It is full of paintings from expert bird watchers, and they paint the perfect specimen, if you will. You don't have to rely on pictures. It's a painting with extreme detail and gives you the exemplar of what the perfect bird of that species looks like. Also get really detailed maps that show migration, all sorts of other information buried in those maps based on the way the lines are drawn. They're dashed, narrow dash, wide dashes. They're colored in 4 or 5 different colors. All of that information on the map tells you things about the birds. You can use the key in the back of that. I have 2 of those that I use. One I keep on my desk, and one I keep in my camping trailer. So when I go camping, I can identify the birds. I've added a few more birds since last week. I saw, let's see, and I've seen them before, but I have saw them over the weekend. Scissor-tailed flycatcher, which I've seen before, but I added it to my list, and didn't have any eastern bluebirds. I've added eastern bluebirds now, and as well as a barn swallow. Swallow has a nest under the eave up inside one of my son's barns, and it was living up there, swooping in and out, going after bugs. And so I've added 3 birds on the weekend without any effort, just going about my daily tasks. I picked up 3 more birds for my life list. Again, birds I've seen before, birds I know. When I look at them, I know what they are. Don't have to get a field guide out. But there's going to be birds, and it happened a few weeks ago. I was camping, and there was a bird in the tree. It was clearly a sparrow. I identified it as a chipping sparrow by looking at it, really memorizing its color patterns, then going to sparrows, turning the pages until I went, bingo, chipping sparrow. So that adds a whole different realm of knowledge and enjoyment to bird watching. I get a lot of pleasure out of the challenge, chase of the hunt. You hear a bird up in a tree, but trying to find it, it's there, you just can't find it. And you can listen to the song. There's some apps out there you can use that if you can get the song recorded good enough, it makes suggestions on what it is. So learning those bird songs as well helps you to identify the birds. So this is, back to the product, the Alpen 20 power to 60 power, meaning it has a zoom eyepiece that goes from 20 power, 20 times what your eye sees. It'll zoom up to 60 times what your eye sees. A fantastic zoom product, stays sharp and crisp throughout the zoom. The focus is very crisp and pristine. One thing I like about this one, it comes with this sleeve, and this sleeve is a nylon padded sleeve that the device will go into. And the cool thing about it is, this is a storage sleeve, right? But also, you can, if I open this up all the way, make it easier on myself, you can put the device in here, zip it up part way, keep it stored all the way, right? You can keep it stored in here with the end zipped up, or you can unzip the end, unzip this, and now you have access to the focus, you have access to the zoom, and right underneath here on this little zipper, you gain access to the 1/4 to 20 receiver, so you can mount this on a tripod as well. Yes, the device is waterproof, but you know, let it get soaking wet. So if you're out in the rain, you can protect it a little bit and keep it protected from the elements even more. And a great way to store your device as well. You simply zip it up and put it, you know, take care of it, because this is an investment and you're going to want to take care of your investments. Zip it up, put it back together, and there we go. Can I get it in there? Yes, yes I can. Maybe, we shall see. There we go. Got it seated on there. So it's now ready to store just like that. The Alpen's 20 to 60 by 80 spotting scope. Going to work down to the other end. So if you were watching earlier this week, you saw Tyler, who we call Grape Ape or Sasquatch. Hi Tyler, I hope you're watching.
You're going to bring attention to the fact. No, don't do that. Just no.
We do this twist test, right, where you twist it. Tyler works out a lot and is immensely strong. When we talk about the twist test, we don't mean try to twist them in two. That's not the test. The test is just wiggle it back and forth.
He didn't really break it or anything.
Well, he did.
They still work.
Well, that's what I'm going to talk about. What he did was, instead of twisting like this, he put his thumbs up here like this so he could really twist. And when he twisted, he pushed with this hand and he popped that ocular off. Oh no, they're broken. Well, all we did was put the prism back in, get it oriented correctly, and glue the eyepiece back on. Can you break them? Yes, you can break them. Can you break the 20 to 60 by 80 Alpen spotting scope? Sure, you can break that. He can break anything. I can break things too. You know, if I wanted to twist these, I couldn't twist these around in a circle, but could Tyler? Sure, probably. That's not the point. When we talk about a twist test, we talk about just applying some force and seeing if they wiggle. That's all. Not trying to twist them apart. Tyler, Sasquatch, Grape Ape, applied his big old lunkhead muscles to it.
Wow.
And see, he works at a gym where there is not a lunk alarm. So, you know, he's actually looking real good. He's been working really hard.
Question for you.
Hang on just a second. He's been working really hard, getting ripped, going to enter a bodybuilding contest, I believe, in November. So he's really dropped the weight and really bulking up on the muscles. What's your weight?
That's funny.
What is?
Nothing. What is this bird?
I'll let it pop up here on the monitor close so I can see it. It'll take it a few more seconds, and here we go. It's a duck, I can tell you that. That is an Egyptian duck.
No.
Whistling duck.
Yeah.
There we go.
Egyptian black-bellied.
An Egyptian. I know it as an Egyptian whistling duck.
Black-bellied.
Black-bellied whistling duck.
It's native to Arkansas.
Yep.
How about that?
There's some on. You know, I haven't added that to the farm to my list, but yes, there's a dairy farm just east of Pea Ridge that I saw some of those. I've always called them Egyptian ducks, but black-bellied whistling ducks are on that farm pond. And I didn't even think about it. Saw them when I drove by the last 2 times. I need to get a picture of them but I don't have a camera with a long lens. I need to talk Scott into buying me one. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But go get a camera with a good lens, a decent zoom lens, and try and get a picture of those out on a pond. So there you go. How about that? Now this is blind. I have not. This is pure stump the chump. Right
I have one that I'm about to do.
You can stump me, especially with shorebirds. And, the varieties of sparrows out there.
Oh, no.
Warblers, things
Here
like that.
Here we go.
But while that's coming up, I'll talk, because you can see it, but I can't. It's got to come up on my monitor. This is a great pair of binoculars for kids. I advocate buying a pair for yourself. If you've got a kid in your life who wants to do birding, buy a pair for yourself. That's a grebe.
You're reading the caption.
No, I'm not.
Cheater.
I can't read the caption. It's a grebe. It's either a grebe or a hooded merganser, one or the other. I don't think it's
an eared grebe.
It's a grebe. What is it?
Eared
grebe. There we go.
Yeah.
It's
another
grebe.
Native Arkansas.
I can't see. To read that, I've got to get up. I can't even read it. It's pixelated over here on the screen. So it's just a couple of pixels. Can't read it.
All right.
So give me another one. Stump the chump.
Oh, here's one.
Back to the binoculars. If you want to go out and take a kid out, use the same gear they're using. My dad did that when we went fishing. He bought me adult gear. Well, in the same vein, go out and use the kid gear fishing, or buy yourself a pair of binoculars. Take a kid out with the same binoculars. If you want to do astronomy with them, do astronomy, watch deer, whatever it is. But get the same gear they get. It's going to be an adventure for the kids, and you're going to open them up to a whole world of potential.
So, question.
Yep. I thought you were going to show me a bird.
I am, but I'm going to ask you a question first.
Okay.
Since this is Facebook, we could kind of, we have a little bit more leeway.
Yes.
And what bird that was common in 1895 could be found everywhere?
Passenger pigeon.
There you go. Why did they go extinct? I can't remember.
Market hunting. People love to eat pigeon, and there were massive flocks, estimated to be like 5 million birds, and in the course of about, I think it was literally like 30 years, we literally hunted them to extinction. The last passenger pigeon died in a zoo in the 20s, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a bird it literally in a generation hunted to extinction.
Why? There's like no meat on those bones.
Oh, there are on doves.
Not on the passenger pigeon.
The pigeon is a dove. Doves and pigeons are the same. And
there you go.
I've eaten plenty of mourning doves, and they're very tasty. Pigeons are even bigger.
I don't want to eat a mourning dove, and it's not mourning as in Monday morning. It's mourning as in they're sad.
Speaking of doves, we could call up a Stevie Nicks song and play a 6-second snippet of this bird, and I wouldn't have to tell you what it is. It is the white-winged dove.
Yeah.
Goes coo, baby, coo.
Really?
I am not going to attempt to sing in the lovely voice of Stevie Nicks. White-winged dove. All right,
nice.
So you're going to get one here. I don't know any, but, we'll see how it comes up. So
this is before the show. Kent was saying, I got to have all this research. But so far, he hasn't needed the research.
I can, eared grebes, I can't tell you much about. I knew it was a grebe. The white-winged dove is a bird of the southwest and western United States. However, its population is expanding eastward, and now it's all over the country. I have not yet seen one. I think I saw one down in Fort Worth, Texas, when we were down there a couple of months ago, but I couldn't get close enough, didn't have any binoculars. The picture I took with my iPhone did not zoom in enough. It was not enough detail to be able to sure it was a white-winged dove. But sooner or later I'm going to see one, and we will go from there. Bresser, specialized kids binoculars. Yep, they're specialized kids binoculars, but these are great binoculars. The difference is they're not quite as wide in the interpupillary distance. So you can get here and get it focused. Won't focus quite real close like a lot of really high-end binoculars do, but that's not the point. has a diopter right here, has a glass prism, has glass lenses in it. Now these aren't, fully coated or multi-coated, but for a great starter pair of binoculars that you take care of, you can get long service life out of. These are them. 6 power eyepieces.
A spotting scope would be best for birds, if you ask me.
Spotting scopes, and let's real quick, 21 millimeter, that's what the 6 by 21 means. So go ahead, Paul.
Grab a spotting scope. Don't you have one behind you?
Yeah, it's all packaged up.
You just had it out a minute ago.
Well, yeah, but I packaged it up for transportation in my vehicular. But I can get it out.
That's also great for stargazing.
Here we go.
Right?
Good for stargazing.
It's great for stargazing.
Telescopes offer different things than a spotting scope does, but go ahead. So spotting scopes are nice. They have a lot of power and a lot of aperture. You can't handhold them, so it's trade-offs. If you're out going through the woods and you don't want to carry this all day probably, this is going to be where you go to like a birding blind over at Lake Fayetteville and set in the blind and can move it around.
We
and
should
do that. But if you're going
this
hiking,
show from there
do that.
one day.
We'll do a morning show sometime when it starts getting light early in the morning. Later in the morning this fall. We'll go out there and do a live broadcast from there. That'll be fun. Actually from the bird blind. That'll be a hoot. Maybe get a local birder to go with us.
Into this?
Huh?
I'm trying to log in and get the chats for On the Wing on our YouTube, but it's not letting me.
I was wondering where the chats were.
Well, there's nobody talking right now.
Hey, everybody out there, talk. Ask. Say howdy. Or hola, or whatever word it is that you want to give us that's a welcome greeting. See, I modified my statement there, didn't I?
So I got one for you that's going to stump the chump.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Ready?
So, yeah. Spotting scopes and binoculars are much more portable and easy to go, oh, there's a bird up there. Whereas with a spotting scope, much harder to point and much harder to move. So there's, there are trade-offs. That is is it a North American bird?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with.
It's been spotted in Arkansas.
Hang on. It's not. It's not a lesser yellow legs. It's a. It's an ibis.
Nope.
What is it?
You gonna try more?
There's too many. Shorebirds are not my thing. Or wading birds are not really my thing. Ducks are okay, but.
It's a limpkin.
Limpkin, yes. Okay, a limpkin.
What is a limpkin?
A shorebird, a wading bird. It's like I've read about them. I've seen pictures of them. It's a bird that wades like an egret. It's probably an egret-related bird in the family of egrets, would be my guess.
Egret?
They're going to feed on aquatic invertebrates, crawfish, things like that. I do not believe they're a filter feeder like some birds are. These are. Seems rubbing my eyes. My allergies are killing me.
Sorry.
They're going to be.
There you go. It's the Audubon Society. There. See? Limpkin.
But I got close.
Very much a South American bird, obviously.
Yeah, but they're along the coast. And it seems like I read this spring that they found a nesting colony in extreme southeast Arkansas.
Yes.
Out in the, is that where you found this bird? Yeah. They found the limpkins and flamingos and another bird nesting in southeast Arkansas on a private farm swamp/reservoir. So.
See if we can
very
get the
cool
audio.
to see, and they're not releasing the location where they are because they want it to, keep breeding. Look like a pretty good sized bird. Yeah,
Trying to get the call here. Let's see.
I know how its call is. It goes. Here, Paul. Here, Paul. Here, Paul. Here, Paul.
Listen.
Here, Paul. Here, Paul. Here, Paul. Here, Paul.
Stop. Listen.
That's the call.
Stop.
I'm almost positive.
You like grunts?
See, I can't hear it. So
I know you can't.
I know.
Interesting.
Big bird. That's a big bird.
Big bird?
Yeah, egret-sized bird.
Yeah. Kind of neat.
Yep.
See?
So, what time is it, Paul?
Almost time. We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, let's go start back over here. Go back over and talk about the old really good selling on Amazon.com. And you can buy them through our website as well. These are the National Geographic 8x42s. The 8 means the eyepieces have 8 power magnification, magnifies what you see by a factor of 8. And 42 means it has 42 millimeters of objective lens. That's the size of the hole that's sucking in the light and then projecting it out from the exit pupils into your eyes. Oh, wow. This is a fully, this is multi-coated, not waterproof, have twist up eye cups, passes the twist test with flying colors, unless you're Tyler, who tries to rip them into, and he won't live that one down. I haven't seen, I need to go back and watch the recording of that popping off when they go, oop, and see what Annie's reaction was when that happened. It'll be sort of fun. I think that was on Tuesday. I go back and look up that. So if you have noticed, we're running content basically 24/7 now, and we're trying to make sure we show which is live. And the problem is the recorded versions also say live up in the corner. So Paul has engineered a bug that says recorded earlier or something along that line, trying to give people a clue that we are truly not live or live. I know we have had a couple of people in the last few shows, so are you guys live right now? And it's like, yes, we are live. We answered the questions, so we are. So love to answer the questions. Paul, did you get the restream to come up? So we see the questions?
Something went awry, and it caused the video to be named incorrectly on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So people are like, who the heck is this,
So did you fix it?
I've just now fixed it.
All right. So it went awry. So
it did go awry.
So can things go a wheat or a pumpernickel?
Probably.
I heard somebody out there laugh. Somebody out there laughed at that dad joke.
There's only 2 people watching right now.
I appreciate, well, one of them laughed. So I appreciate that very much. All right. Yes, indeed. So give us a shout out. Probably, how close are we, Paul, to segueing into
minute.
Amazon Live? All right, so we're going to go down for a little bit and have some placeholder video running, and then we'll come back up live on Amazon.com Live, Amazon Live, where I won't be able to talk about buying things on our website. But I'm going to say it before we get on there. You can buy all this stuff through our website as well, explorescientific.com, and you can buy it through there just as easily as you can buy it through Amazon.com. So with that, we will shift over. I won't mention any other live stream platforms because Amazon likes us to only say Amazon, which is a 7-letter word. Indeed. Throw some birds up there that I'm going to get, Paul, but every once in a while I'm not getting them to school too. Limpkin was a good one. Hey everybody, Kent Martz here. Welcome to Thursday's edition of Amazon Live. It's on the wing day, so I'm going to be talking about things that are on the wing. You and I call them birds. I was thinking today was Friday and was preparing to do the focus on astrophotography, and today was Birds Day. So I did not cull any pictures or pull any pictures from our viewers who have sent us pictures. We still have a good stock of pictures. You know, if we would love to see your pictures and be able to share them with our viewers on a future episode, you can figure out we'll tell you how to send them to us. If you will go to the Explore Scientific store here on Amazon.com, click contact the seller, and then Noam Art will tell you how to get them to us. I think he can attach the pictures that way, and we can work out the deal to get those.
So Kent has a small problem. Got the batteries are on the wall. They're on the wall. Remember? Okay. See the green lights?
The iconic Galileo Scope is perfect for emerging astronomers to learn about the science of optics and the inner workings of a telescope as they build their own 50mm refractor. The kit requires no tools and includes everything to make a compact, reliable telescope.
Explore One land and water habitat is perfect for young explorers to collect an assortment of creatures and keep them safe for in-depth observations of how they look, behave, and interact. The habitat comes with a convenient carrying handle and a built-in magnifying lens in the vented lid, as well as a handheld magnifier to assist in exploration and observation. Use the included tweezers to gently pick up insects, or the net to catch minnows, tadpoles, or even fireflies. Budding naturalists can prepare the container to mimic the habitat of land-dwelling subjects, or fill it with suitable water for our water-loving friends. Once your explorer has finished, they can easily open their habitat and free the research specimen. The rugged Explore One land and water habitat can be used again and again, opening a window into nature's wonders.
The Explore One CF600 telescope is easy to use and the ideal beginner scope. It includes a simple alt-azimuth mount and tripod that allows the user to smoothly move the scope up, down, and side to side. With a 50mm aperture, a 600mm focal length, and two 1¼ inch eyepieces, you can use varying levels of magnification to see those distant objects. It comes with a red dot finder for easy object location. The 50mm airspace doublet lens made from optical glass elements provide enough aperture and magnification to let you see Saturn and its beautiful rings. The Explore One CF600 telescope can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary for budding junior astronomers.
Well, wasn't that exciting, folks? Paul, we need to have Alex just wire those direct to an AC outlet so we don't have to worry about batteries dying in the microphone receiver units. And just in the middle of broadcast, finding out that Kent looks like he's coming out that right. So anyway, all right. So
air the laundry on air.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we might as well just let everyone know.
Why not? Transparency. We're a transparent company. We're easy to contact. You know, it's only clean laundry on Amazon Live, Noah says. We're transparent. We're easy to contact. You can contact us through the Amazon portal, through the chat right now. If you're out there watching, you can feel free to chat us up. Tell us you're there, ask a question. And if you enjoy the comedy hour, you can click the follow button and get notified every time
doing that.
That comes on. Sir?
We quit doing that.
No, we still have a little bit of comedy every once in a while.
We're not allowed.
I don't have the Amazon up on my monitor, so I don't know if it matters. You're going to throw the comments up. Yeah, if you're throwing the comments up, that's good. So let's start out birding. We were talking about birding. Over in the Amazon carousel right now, you're going to find something, if you're wanting to get into birding, something that is really going to help you down your career path, hobby path of birding. It's the National Geographic Field Guide to North American Birds. It's a great book. It's a fantastic resource. Has rare birds, introduced birds, all sorts of, transient visitors, and common birds that we're all going to see. Lots of sparrows and things like, cardinals and things like that.
It's only $15.79.
And it's only $15.79. And folks, this book is about that thick. This is not an expensive book. So you pick it up. It's full of drawings. They're paintings, high quality paintings, showing the exemplar, the perfect specimen of what the bird should look like. Because when you get pictures of birds, yeah, the pictures are beautiful, but it may not be a perfect exemplar, the perfect example of what the bird is. And that's what the Field Guide to North American Birds from National Geographic does. It also gives you habitat, migration, habits, things like that, as well as pictures of juveniles, immature females. Really allows you to really drill down into each of those birds and go from there. So you can pick one up for under $20 over in the carousel. So I was thinking today was Friday, so I did not prepare any bird pictures for the day. So Paul thought it'd be fun to play Stump the Chump. And so far, I have not been stumped completely.
You were stumped on the one.
The Limpkin, but I was darn close, So the Limpkin was one. And he's picking birds that supposedly have been sighted in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of really crazy birds that have been sighted in Arkansas. One time back in 1953 and haven't been documented since. So we'll see how that goes.
See, you're just trying to cover your tail right now.
Absolutely. This is a birding show. That's why I'm trying to cover my tail.
Dropped everything.
All right, so
Where is he? There he is.
Give me a bird.
I'm working on it.
And y'all are going to see it, 15 or 20 seconds before I see it. So you see it now, and I'm waiting for it to pop up on the monitor, and it's still not up, so here it goes. There must be, we're going to have to get the gerbils running the treadmill to get going faster. That is a stork of some sort. A heron. It's a heron. It's not a stork. It's the one with the white belly. It's not a great picture of it. It's not a great blue heron, I don't think.
Come on, Kent, you can do it.
It's not a green heron. What is it, Paul?
I can't believe you don't know.
I got it's a heron.
There you go. Right there.
It's going to take 20 seconds. Tell me what it is.
It takes like 6.
No.
Tricolored heron.
A tricolored heron. Yeah, I've never seen one nor heard of that before. But the fact that I got that
that's
was
a
heron,
blue one. No, so in the list that I'm showing, if they're blue, which this one was, this is from the Audubon Society, okay? If they're blue, then that nesting species, it means it's a nesting species in Arkansas.
Now, say again. If the bird
this
is
a nesting species in Arkansas.
If the bird is blue, it nests
in
Arkansas?
If the name of the bird was in blue, which this one was on the other page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were saying if the bird is blue, it's going to be a blue heron, and if it's got white on the belly, it's a gray heron or something.
I see these all the time.
You don't see tricolored herons.
I do too.
I think you see a lot of great blue herons, but the tricolored, I literally don't ever recall seeing a tricolored here or pictures of people locally getting herons. Terry Stanfield doesn't have one, and he took pictures out at the Eagle Watch Nature area which lots of herons out there.
Those are interesting.
Oh, birds are amazing. The variety in colors, you know, especially in breeding plumage or the males, just spectacular. See, that's a blue heron on the right.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
pulled it up.
Yeah.
Because that's what you wanted.
All right, so let's talk about a product, because this is a sales channel just a little bit. We do a lot of education, and Stump the Chump is going to be fun today. This is the Bresser Kids Specialized Binoculars. It says kids. This is a great binocular for adults to use too. The difference is that the interpupillary distance is a lot closer on these. I can use these with no problems, but if you have pretty wide eyes, you may not be able to use these. But I advocate getting a pair of these for you to use and a pair to give to the kid or kids in your life, and go out and do birding with them, do astronomy with them, go out animal watching with them, whatever. But learn to use binoculars. These are the real deal, folks. These are not a pair of toy binoculars. Metal body, glass lenses, glass prisms in here, a diopter to change the focus, so you focus with on your left eye with the focus wheel, and then you switch and focus with the diopter, and now both eyes are in focus. Passes the twist test, unless you're Tyler Bowman, and if you were watching Tuesday, Tyler proved why he's working on a bodybuilding thing. Instead of getting a hold of the body and twisting, just, we don't mean go crazy and twist them, but we call him grape ape or Sasquatch. If you're watching, you saw Sasquatch go to work. Instead of just
There
twisting,
are no safe spaces.
nope, no safe spaces here. He put his thumb right here, and when he went to twist, he pushed like that, and he popped on this pair. He popped that right off. Well, prism goes back in, the prism comes out. We put the prism back in, we put the eyepiece back on, dab of glue, which is, they're glued in, off it comes. Can you break these binoculars? Yes. Can you break this spotting scope? Yes. You don't want to do either one. You want to take care of them. So Tyler took the discussion of twist them, what I call the Scott Roberts twist test. You know, if you go just gently and they wiggle, you know it's not put together real well. But Tyler went all out, and Tyler said, I'm working on a bodybuilding. I'm going to see if I can tear these in two. He probably could. He's going to be entering a bodybuilding contest in November. It'll be interesting to see what he looks at. Why do you keep laughing when I say that?
No reason.
He's getting pretty trim. He's lost like 50 pounds now, and has seriously bulked up. You know, so
Still
anyway, carrots. Let's just say he did a carrot cleanse Friday, Saturday, part of Sunday, and couldn't make it the fourth day and quit because it was just too much for him. But he did lose a bunch of body fat, so there was that. Anyway,
this time a year and a half ago, I was 50 pounds heavier than I am right now, and no one noticed.
2 years ago.
Year and a half.
Yeah, for me, year and a half, 2 years ago, I was 40 pounds less than I am now, and I put it all back on. The problem with losing weight, folks, is it comes off 150 calories a day and can go back on 3,000 calories a day if you're not careful. So anyway, the Bresser Kids Binoculars, Specialized Kids Binoculars, metal body. The yellow part is sort of a plasticized gripping surface. I really like this pair of binoculars. They're over in the carousel. They're really affordable. Again, they may be called kids binoculars, but these are the real deal binoculars. Glass elements, glass prisms, metal body, great pair of binoculars. You want a kid to go out and start learning to use binoculars, get them a real pair of binoculars. You know, real pair of binoculars is not that much more money than a cheap toy pair. Get yourself a real pair of binoculars if you're going to be going out with a kid. All right, so shifting along to a little bit more expensive binoculars. These are the National Geographic 8x42 binoculars. These are 4.5 star rating, and there's a bunch of reviews and ratings out there. A really good seller. I think it's probably the best selling binocular out there on Amazon for us right now. The National Geographic brand. 8 by 42. What does that mean? Well, I should have told you the little ones, but I'll tell you now. Hey, there's Daniel. Daniel, want to come over and be on TV?
Good luck.
No, he holds up something and walks out the door. He's not going to ever show his face over here. So these have twist-up eye cups. They're fully coated, which means this surface of glass and this surface of glass has specialized coatings on them. They are not waterproof. They're water resistant. A really good starting pair. What do those numbers right there mean? 8 by 42. It means the eyepieces give magnification of 8 power, and the 42 means the point where light comes in and gets squished down and focused for your eye is 42 millimeters across. The bigger they are, the more light comes into your eye. The pair of the kids' specialized binoculars we were just looking at, those are 6 by 21, meaning 6 power eyepieces, 21 millimeters here. So the 42s are going to collect pushing 3 times more light than the 21s, well more than twice. It'll be, but this is a great pair of binoculars, sturdy pair. Does it pass the twist test? Yes, unless you're Tyler Bowman and try and rip it apart. We don't mean try and rip them apart when you twist them. We mean just a gentle little twist, and sometimes you'll get a pair that goes whoop, whoop, whoop. You know those aren't a pair of binoculars for you. Real simple to use. Focus, right? Focus on with your left eye. I never use my binoculars with the glasses. Focus with the left eye, just like that. And always cover up the right eye so both eyes are open. That doesn't deform your eyes by squinting or winking, closing one eye. And then shift to the other one and turn the diopter. And there we go. You can get both eyes perfectly focused. When you get both eyes perfectly focused, you don't have eye strain, nor do you have brain strain. So because you're able to relax, both eyes are in focus. One eye's not working to try and get into focus. Your brain is going to relax. You're going to see more details with your binoculars. So binoculars, this is a birding show. They're useful in a lot of realms. Sporting events, outdoors.
The comet.
Again, birding. There's a comet
K2.
up there in Ophiuchus that I don't know if you can see it with binoculars or not. You're going to have a good chance to do that. If you have some binoculars, it's in the southwestern sky. You have to know where to look.
It's up until September.
In the evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had a full moon last night, so just the day old full moon, and it was a perigee, apogee, in an oval orbit. Apogee is farthest away, perigee is closest. It's a perigee moon, so it was about 13% larger than average and potentially 30% brighter. That will still be really bright and a little bit bigger tonight. And that brightness makes things that are faint hard to find, comets being one of those when they're little comets like this. I look forward to the day that we get some really great comet, and the great comets is a formal name, meaning they're anybody who looks up is going to go, oh my gosh, there's a comet, right?
Hellbop.
Or at least notice, oh my gosh, there's something up there that is huge. It'll be a big knot with a big old tail that goes across the sky.
Hellbop.
Hakataki, or however you pronounce it. And then back in the 60s, there was Comet. Can't remember if it's Comet. There was one in the late 60s and one in the early 70s. One was Comet West. The other was Comet Bennett. Those were magnificent to see in the dark sky. Now, light pollution, something I advocate against all the time. There's no reason, and this is not an astronomy show, but I'm going to get on my soapbox
Commentary by Mr. Ken Mars.
Thank you, Paul Newton. So it affects birds. Light pollution affects birds as well as astronomers and lots of other things it affects. There's no reason to shine light up in the sky. The sky is not where we need light.
Unless you're looking for a helicopter flying over top of you, then you might need the light.
That's a transient thing. We don't need to install street lights.
What do you call me?
I called your thought a transient use. So you don't want to set a light that just shines half its light up in the sky all night because
Is it
it's
specious?
wasting electricity. It's wasting light. That light goes up in the sky. It makes the sky glow. It reflects off of dust and other aerosols in the sky and makes the sky, the black sky, start turning whiter. Well, there's lots of beautiful things up there that are pretty faint, and when the sky becomes brighter than those faint things, they disappear and you can never see them.
I got a bird for you.
Like, for instance, hang on just a second. The Milky Way. 80% of the people in the United States today live in such lighted polluted skies that they can't see the Milky Way. They become disconnected with a magnificently beautiful thing that's up in the sky in the evenings and night, right now through summer, and lots of you can't see it. All because we shine light up into the sky where we don't need it. How does it affect birds? Well, big cities put out so much light, the birds can't see the stars, and they circle around the city and either run into buildings or get trapped from exhaustion, and they just keep flying until the sun comes up. Through the miracle of Doppler radar, we've learned that birds begin migrating at night after sunset and then land before sunrise. But they just keep flying and flying and flying until they die. There's a woman in New York City who walks around one building, the World Trade Center complex, every morning before the crowds hit and picks up and counts every dead bird she finds. Hundreds of birds during migration. Every single morning she finds birds. Put some pictures of them arranged in nice, neat, pretty little organized, beautiful birds. Sad because sometimes hundreds of birds in those pictures that she posts on her social media platform. What you got, Paul? Birds of the air.
What is it?
I can't see them. They haven't popped up
on.
yet on my screen.
You can see it.
I have an idea, but I'm not going to. There we go. Those be brown pelicans,
Yep.
as opposed to the American pelican, which is a white bird. This is
That.
a brown pelican. Fabulous birds to watch along the shore. They'll fly along in formations of 4, 5, or 6 birds, and the lead bird will do a wing over and dive into the water, and they'll all just do wing over and follow one after the other like fighter, like going back and you think about the fighter jets, all in formation, they all peel off and go after their opponent. Sort of what
guess
they're
what?
doing, except they're going after breakfast, lunch, or supper. So
guess what?
Very cool birds. I need to
I
add that,
know
I need to add that to my life
everything.
list.
I know everything about this photograph of these two birds.
Did you take it?
Yes.
Where'd you take it at?
This is in Panama City Beach, Florida,
When'd you take it?
in 2011.
What was the shutter speed?
I can tell you that.
I figured you could dig up it doesn't matter.
I got it right here somewhere.
So obviously they're water feeders. They'll dive in
It
and
was
come up.
auto, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, they'll come up and with fish or without fish, and then take to the wing and cruise. It's fantastic to watch them cruise along the shore. Very relaxing to sit there with a cool, refreshing drink in your hand in the shade of a blue umbrella,
So
and just
check
watch
this
the
out.
waves roll in, and the brown
There you go.
herons do their brown heron.
There you go.
Brown pelicans do their thing.
Do. There they are. There's one of them. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Apologize. My bad. See them?
Yep. Looks like a small picture. It looks jaggy. It must be pulling off of a social media site where you posted it.
No. That's
So-
full res.
It just must be this way it's showing up on TV.
Probably.
There you go. A
He
brown.
was watching me.
Yeah.
He was going.
They're
it's
very
like-
humanized. Most of them become very humanized because they hang around docks, and like this is on a dock. You can see the
It was like he was going to
powerhouse
eat
of a-
me.
He's not that big. They're big
No,
birds.
that's a big one.
They're big birds.
That
Remember-
bird is probably close to. I would dare to say he's almost 25 pounds.
Nah, birds are very birds can look very heavy and not be much because their bones are hollow.
I
Their
understand.
feathers add massive flux. You look up and see what the
That-
average weight of a blue
That was a bigger
brown
one than
pelican
normal.
is.
That was a bigger one than you see before.
Size,
We were all like,
size of a wild turkey, size of a domestic
No.
turkey,
no.
bigger than that.
It was size of a domestic turkey, but it was way taller. So
Yeah.
He might have been only about 12 to 15, but he was at least 12 pounds.
So these binoculars,
He was kind of scary because he was like,
they
looking to
clack
eat
their
me.
bills, don't they?
He wasn't. He was
I
just
think-
sitting there. The
He's
reason I
like-
got this photo is because we were on a little boat tour, right? So we're in the water, and we're going down the water, and he is looking at me in the eye from almost 50 feet away. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're only going like 1 mile an hour
He's like,
in the water.
man, if that guy falls out of the boat, I could live for 2 months off of him.
Figure out how to carry me around.
Yep.
Anyway,
Luckily, they don't have claws, so he couldn't snatch you out of the boat. Anyway,
correct.
this is a pair of Alpen Magnaview binoculars. They're really compact binoculars. These binoculars are 8 by 25, 8 power eyepieces, a lot of magnification, 25 millimeter objective size, pulling in light. Not real big, lots of magnification, but not real big. There's design trade-offs. If you want a pair of binoculars that you can carry around with you in your shirt pocket, well, they fit in this shirt pocket really well. In fact, if you want to buy a shirt like this one, you can go over in the carousel and pick up the Habit brand shirt right now. Not an Explore Scientific brand, but I wear these shirts a lot, and so I figured why not put them over in the carousel and sell them to our viewers. So the Magnaview 8x25 binoculars. Paul, you got some B-roll for this? I don't know. You remember
Not
if you do
at
or
the
not?
moment.
Okay.
I got too many other tasks
It's fun.
going
it's fun
on.
to pop things on Paul and watch him flap his wings, you know, and get all.
Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't.
So, pair of binoculars, really easy to carry. They go down into a very small, compact form. There's a neck strap. I just haven't put them on here. These are the Magnaview brand or series. So Alpen has a series of binoculars. As we go up, they get more expensive. These are very affordable binoculars. You know, this bridge has a, you know, because they're made as a compact binocular, they have a more compact focusing. Now these binoculars, once we get into the Alpen brand, these binoculars are waterproof, meaning they're purged with nitrogen or argon. The insides of them, the air is expelled, and nitrogen and argon are both dry inert gases. Therefore, they can't hold any air, any moisture, and so all the moisture leaves. They assemble them. The O-rings keeps the air out and the purged gas in, and voila, they won't fog up on the inside. Can they fog up on the outside? Yeah, but that doesn't damage them. When they fog up on the inside, they may never unfog, or it's going to keep doing it. These are fully multi-coated. What does that mean? That means that every surface of glass that light goes through has coatings on them, okay? That's fully multi-coated. If they're fully coated, it'd be glass on the where your eye goes, that front surface, and that surface. Fully coated, that's what it means. Fully multi-coated, every piece of glass inside here has coatings on them. So, Paul, I saw you getting another bird ready over there.
Sort of.
Sort of, not ready yet. Alpen Magnaview 8x25 binoculars. Great pair of binoculars to carry with you in the outdoors. You see a bird when you're not out birding, you pull it out, start observing the bird. All right, what are we? That is a red slider, I think, on the log. And those, it's hard to tell. Oh, there's one. Those are mallard.
Nope.
Those aren't mallards.
Nope.
Can't see them enough.
You're so needy.
Oh, you know, you can't see the birds. I can
You
see
can
a
see the
white
birds.
I can see a white ring around one neck, what looks like a neck, which generally
You can
marks it
definitely
as
tell
a
what
mallard.
those- Once I tell you what those are, you'll be like, oh.
Sure. They're not. Hang on, let me look more. I can't see. Are those long legs on them?
Yeah.
So they're not a duck.
Well, maybe.
No, they're not a duck.
All right, here.
Hang on, let me.
Better.
They're not purple gallinals. Coots?
Almost. You're getting there. Those are loons.
Oh, there's a loons. Okay.
At Lake
Yeah.
Fayetteville.
Okay.
I took that photo. They were all sitting there sleeping.
Yeah, you just
And
can't
when I
see
went
them.
to develop it, I just thought it was a really interesting looking photo.
I wish that branch on the right wasn't there in the way.
It doesn't matter.
You
I
could cut
didn't
it down
even
real quick.
notice the turtle until I got home.
Yeah, red slider. You're focused. That's you focus on one thing and miss the other thing.
Well, no,
There
it was
an
too far
experiment-
away. That's what they 300 millimeter lens, and it's cropped in.
There was a experiment years ago where they had people in basketball players in red uniforms and white uniforms passing a basketball back and forth in a random pattern, and they
There's the turtle.
asked them to count how many times the players in red touched the basketball.
And they never noticed the gorilla that came out.
And then they asked him, what was the gorilla what was the gorilla carrying? And most of them, there were some that did, but an astounding number, well more than half. It was like
only
way
like
up
one
there.
person
Yeah,
even
very-
noticed
yeah, some
the gorilla.
very small number actually saw the gorilla because they were so focused on counting how many players in red touched the ball that they missed that somebody dressed up in a gorilla suit if I remember, he was carrying something or something.
What kind of turtle is that?
I think it's hard to say. It's not a snapping turtle.
No,
it's
it's
not a
regular.
soft-shelled turtle.
Right.
It's probably
Not a
going
box
to be
turtle.
It's probably going to be a red-eared slider, and it's a very small one, so it hasn't juvenile, so it hasn't developed its red ear yet. That's my hypothesis, and I'm going to stick to it. A red-eared slider, which you can pet shops sell them.
So these birds have purple feet, purple webs on their feet.
Are you sure they're loons and not purple gallinals?
No, they're loons. I looked them up.
Look up purple gallinal real quick, just to see.
Hang on. I gotta go back to
GALLINEAU, I
shop.
think.
Merge.
If they have green legs and they're all black and have a little white spot on them, those would be coots, American coots.
Wait a minute. Maybe they're coots.
I think they may be coots, Paul. You can't. The light is so you can't tell if their legs are green or not.
No, the legs wouldn't be green.
Very strange looking coots have very strange looking legs.
There's coots and loons out there.
Coots and loons.
Yep. No,
That's
those feet are not the right feet. No,
Paul,
these birds,
Paul.
they're not coots.
Coots and loons sounds
I
like a
know.
bar to me.
They're not coots because the feet are completely wrong. The feet on a coot is like a big claw looking
So
thing.
put up a loon and put up a purple gallinal. This is how you narrow down what the birds are. I have these discussions with people. I'll think what it is, so I'll send it to Dan George, and he and I will talk back and forth about what it is and isn't until we come up with what we would like to think is an absolutely correct, definitive answer.
These are coots. But it's weird because their beaks. Yeah, no, there it is. I can show you. Yeah. I got it now. So let's see here. Get this dude pulled
So while
up.
he's doing that, we're going to talk about another
All right, here we
series of
go.
binoculars.
Look here.
Alpen Wings 8x34s.
See?
No,
It'll pop there.
I know it.
So this is a coot from Wikipedia.
That is indeed a coot.
And
Look
you
at
see
the red eye,
see the feathers.
white bill, and a really funky foot.
Yeah. But see his beak?
And look at their tails too.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
tail.
he didn't have a tail there, but
There's no tail.
But if you come back to
they have to
these-
run. They have to run, or I don't know if they have to, but when they take off, and generally they're in big old rafts of birds, when they take off, it's a great, squawking noise. Their wingtips hit the water. See, there's a tail on there. You can see the white tail on one of them.
It was
So
a
it's
white
not-
spot on
not,
the tail.
Not a coot. So
are
let's
coots.
go look at a loon. Let's see what a loon looks like. And looks like there's a little orange knob at the end of the beak, maybe between their eyes. So anyway, the
not
coots, when
a
they take
loon.
off, they flap their wings. They're all the hundreds of birds. Their wings are hitting the water, and they're running, trying to gain airspeed and get up on top of the water. They run until they get airborne. Very strange-looking birds. Any comments coming in, Paul? Or
No.
you sure we're going out?
Yes.
And loons sit low in the water when they swim.
See, much different bird.
Yeah, but their coloration's not right though, Paul. And we don't see their legs.
It's a.
Go to all about birds.
Hang on.
I'm holding on to this table
I know.
religiously. All right, so while you're doing that, Alpen 8x34s. The Alpen 8x34 are an open bridge design.
Bad as my brother and my friend Donald.
Dude.
Never believe anything.
It's not that I believe it. I want to see it, right? I mean, a summer tanager and a scarlet tanager, sort of look alike. We had a debate about one time. And then you had a cardinal in weird light that took a whole bunch of debate about.
It wasn't a cardinal.
Discussion. Well, see, exactly.
Well,
So,
it wasn't. I know what it was. It wasn't the cardinal. This is. It's the exact same bird. See.
see the coloration in that picture, that hand-drawn picture, doesn't look anything like that.
These are coots. Right here. And the loon is not. No.
Yeah, that's a coot.
If you do loon,
And this
see,
is...
it's different kind of bird. It's not the same at all. Look at their bodies, much thinner. See?
Haven't seen it yet.
That's the
I don't-
closest one I could find.
That's a cormorant.
Yeah, but these are loons.
No. That's a
Yeah.
cormorant.
I don't, but it's in the loon classification.
But it's not a loon. Up there where it says search on the top right,
I've already done that. There's definitely a loon right there. Common loon. See, they have.
click on it.
I did.
Doesn't have a white spot or an orange spot on its beak. And look at the neck.
This is what these are.
Send me that picture. I want to do some research. Oh, look, there's a baby loon in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that baby loon. Look at the coloration on that bird. I mean, that is spectacular.
Yeah, these are coots. These, my good man, are coots.
Cormorants are a weird looking bird too. All right, so on to the binoculars. Here we go. These are the Alpen Wings 8x34 over in your carousel. A little bit more expensive, more materials, better glass, better coatings. Start working their way up. The objective end cover has little keeper rings, so you take them off and they stay there. They come off easy enough if you want to put them in your pocket and hang on to them that way. Again, fully multi-coated, waterproof, not going to fog up inside. This pair has a bridge design where you can get a couple of fingers down in, really get a hold of these, really use them. Twist-up eye cups. All the binoculars from here forward are going to have twist-up eye cups. It's sort of a ubiquitous thing on better binoculars. Some have the roll-up eye cups that are made out of rubber that you flip up, and those work just as well. There's little indentations right here where your thumbs go. Really nice ergonomic design. You can really get a hold of these and use them. Helps if you open them up to look at the camera. If I remember correctly, this pair will focus. No, not going to focus all the way. Comes close, but there you go. Can you see my eyes in there? I like doing that every once in a while in shows. It's really creepy to see the eyes.
Creepy.
Yes, creepy indeed. So, the Wings 8x34 binoculars, 8 power, 34 millimeter objective lenses. Comes with a nice carrying case, shoulder strap, lens cleaning pen, lens cloth. just a fine pair of binoculars. You start getting into the realm of binoculars where getting to be a little bit more expensive, and they become an investment that you want to start taking care of, right? That becomes important. You know, you don't want to waste your money and just throw it away and inadvertently, you know, just break things willy-nilly because you can, because, you know, that's wasteful. But after a certain point, you don't want to think of them as being disposable, and these are not disposable in my world, because you start spending some real money on them, and you want to protect them. Keeping them in the case is one way. Don't let them get super dirty, which is, one way to do it is keep them in the case. Don't just chunk the binoculars under the front seat of your pickup truck and then pull them out and go, golly, these are dirty. And well, yeah, because you let them get dirty. Keep them clean in your in the case it comes in is going to prolong the life of any pair of binoculars you get, whether they're an Alpen brand or another brand out there. These are beginning to be the money where you really want to protect them. Paul looks like he's got another bird queued up. What's the bird there, Paul? Let's see this beautiful.
This is a bird that is commonly mistaken for another bird. And there's so many different sizes of these types of birds.
I can tell
Out
from
in
here it's a
Holiday Island
woodpecker.
right now, there's ones that are the size of crows, but this one is not one of those.
This is not a red-headed woodpecker. Although it has
Commonly
red-
misconstrued.
Huh?
It's commonly misconstrued because it
because
has a
that big red
head.
patch on the back of its
Yeah.
head. And this is a female bird of this species, and I can even tell you what kind of tree it's setting in. Paul, can you tell me what kind of tree it's setting in?
Hey, Kent, can you tell me if I care what kind of tree it's sitting in?
It is sitting in, ladies and gentlemen, a sycamore tree. We had one in the backyard of my house growing up, and my mom called it a sycamore tree because it sheds so many little branches. And Mom one day got tired of that tree, and you know what she did? She
it on
called
fire.
a company with a bucket truck and chainsaws, and that tree disappeared from our yard. When she cut it down, it was about that big around at chest high. It was a big old cool tree. We climbed in it. We could get 80 to 90 feet up in the top of it, and those who were braver could get up in the wee top of it, and it'd start bending over like this, and it's like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to do that. But climbing a tree 80 feet up was a great tree to climb. Lots of cool memories. In fact, my brother and next door neighbor, Mike Pinzo, and my brother Andy, we decided to build our own zip line down across the yard. We found a piece of sturdy rope and tied it
Is it
about
tree show
a zip
or a
line.
bird show?
Well, you know, story time with Kent. So
Pretty much.
we tied that about 40 feet up in the tree and made a wood thing with wood that we nailed together and rope handles on it, and tied it to the gas meter over at the fence line. And Andy got up there and stepped off. We thought we had the rope real tight. We didn't. It bent the big old U. And he came zipping down, you know, going at a pretty good angle. And then suddenly the rope broke. And Andy came skidding into the ground. Luckily, he was going down at an angle and fell probably 20 feet and jumped up, and we all laughed and then made sure he wasn't hurt, and then we laughed some more. So that would be, I'm going to go with a flicker. Or
I have no idea what
it's
kind
a
of bird
flicker.
it is.
A flicker or a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Although they're called sapsuckers, they too are a species
It
of
is
birds.
not yellow-bellied.
It's a, I think it's a flicker. I'm going to go with a flicker.
I don't know what kind it is. This is where we need our viewers to tell us.
See, this is why I like to do the research ahead of time to be able to tell people exactly what it is. Daniel, what do you think
But
it is?
It is a woodpecker, though.
Yes, but what is it, Daniel? That's a printer.
Bird.
That's a printer that you're working on, but that's not just the old household printer right there. It's a high. It prints these backgrounds behind us. Yeah, big old printer. All right, so
Let me see here. This particular little bird is a. That's not right.
So while he's doing, it's a flicker.
But it's a woodpecker.
So I agree, 100%. But that's
They're
like saying,
saying.
okay, Paul, do you drive a car or do you drive a
I
Mustang?
found it. There it is.
What is it?
This is actually a red-bellied woodpecker.
Red-bellied woodpecker? Okay, here we go. Let me see it. Put it up.
All right.
You should go to All About Birds. It's by what I find to be the best site
All right, hang
for
on.
these.
But I can't search for it.
Sure you can.
Hang on.
But you have to know what you're searching for to execute
That's the
that.
problem.
They don't have, is it a woodpecker? Yes. Does it have red on this back of its head? No. Does it have a solid red head? Yes. You know, you can't do that. There's not a algorithm that does that. So
Here he is.
I'm
I
now
found
looking
him.
at the Shasta Ridge.
Bam. There he is. Wop.
Waiting for it to come up.
I know.
Boy, it's running slow today. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It must be having to go out of the building, go to like Kuwait, and then come back.
Correct.
There you go, red-bellied woodpecker. But see, you can't see the red belly.
There is no red belly.
Yeah, there is. You can see a red belly on. That's why they're called red-bellied.
It's barely. That the male or that's a juvenile?
That's a juvenile, would be my guess. It should say female. That's a female.
Huh.
There's one. There's the red belly. See, that's why you can't tell in that picture. I'm not sure that that's a red-bellied.
That's what it says.
Look up on the picture you got. No, you took that picture, right?
Yeah.
So-
it's the same bird, man.
Look up yellow-bellied sapsucker. Let's just
All
look
right,
real
where's
quick.
the search?
Top right, just below red-bellied woodpecker photo gallery, has a search button. Says search down. Right there. Yeah,
Not
there
even
it is.
close.
There it is. Yellow-bellied yellower-bellied sapsucker.
Not even close.
That's not them.
That's. I put it in
Click on yellow.
just like you told me.
Those are yellow-rumped warbler. Sapsucker is one word.
So these are the one. This is what you're talking about. That is not the same bird. No. See, this one doesn't have.
I can't see.
This one doesn't have red underneath its chin.
Yep, you're right. There we go. That's how you prove things, by disproving things. All right. What time is it, Paul?
48.
48. So let's go through the last 2 pair of binoculars. This is the Alpen Shasta Ridge 10 by 42s.
Shasta?
These are Shasta.
The Shasta Ridge?
I don't know. Noah, how do you say it? Shasta. Paul, how do you say it?
Shasta.
Shasta. He says Shasta like he's from not around here. So the chief operating officer of the company, Robert Price, says Shasta. Now, I don't know how people in the Northwest call it, the Oregon and Washington area. I need to ask some friends from up there. Is it Shasta or is it Shasta? So we might find out. If you're out there watching and have a comment, let us know. Is it Shasta or Shasta? S-H-A-W or S-H-A? That'd be Shasta, like Shasta, maybe. I don't know. Alpen, Shasta Ridge, 10 by 42. When we bought Alpen a few years ago, like 4 years ago, they'd been shut down since like 2016. Had no production for a year or two before that. We bought them. They had no product left, no parts, no anything. So we got the brand name. The husband and wife closed down so they could retire and didn't sell it or anything. We bought the name from them because it's a great brand. And some of the products we were able to reconstitute. The factories were still there. Some of the factories had been gone. The tooling was gone. One of those was the Shasta Ridge. So these are the new Shasta Ridge binoculars, re-engineered, lighter, stronger body, passes the twist test with flying colors unless you're Tyler, and then he rips them in two because it's a phone book. Fully multi-coated twist up, Noog phase coatings on the insides of all the glass bearings, glass transmission surfaces. Surfaces. I think I tried to say surfactant is where I was sort of going.
That's the COVID killer, right?
It could be. It has a little prongs that stick into the keeper so the objective covers stay on. Has a pair of ocular covers right here, have a little groove in them so you can thread them through the neck strap and they will just hang from the neck strap. These are great binoculars. Compared to the previous ones, it's amazing what another generation of technology can do for binoculars. The Shasta Ridge 10x42s really benefited from that reinvention and re-engineering.
Can I share?
Paul, you've been sharing all show, so proceed with sharing your life story.
No, look, it takes a second, but it's coming up. I like this picture.
I can see that it's a bird bath.
Yeah, it should be up there now.
Oh, a house sparrow coming in for a drink. So,
I like it. That's fun.
Oh, it's a great picture. Depth of field is very narrow. The background's out of focus. Got a nice bokeh. You could have had a little bit more depth of field to it, or less depth of field, but very hard to get the bird in the bird bath.
Because
yeah,
you have to freeze them, so you got to do it just right.
Yeah, but the flight feathers are all spread out.
Yeah.
But that is a male house sparrow, an invasive species that you can whack them and stack them.
There you go.
Heath here, who works in quality control, has built a house sparrow trap that he's not managed to catch any yet, but there's ways to build house sparrow traps. They're invasive. They will, fighting, going to get away from my bird bath. Saw on a social media feed today, somebody found noticed a male house sparrow hanging around one of their bluebird houses. So opened it up to find that the house sparrows had taken over and were adding to the bluebird nest, or getting ready to nest in there. So she dissuaded them from entering by destroying the nest and shooting them off. Bluebirds will nest throughout summer, and so if the bluebird nest is, the bluebirds can nest, they may be able to raise a brood even in July. So it's getting to be time to shut it down. I'm going to end with one thing real quick. This neck strap that comes with all these higher end ones, awesome, soft, great. Paul's going nuts over there. So on behalf of Paul Newton saying, shut it down, Kent, and Noah Menard over in the Marketplace Computer, everybody else here at Explore Scientific, I'm Kent Martz. We're getting out of here. See you tomorrow on Focus on Astrophotography. Bye, everybody.